Welcome to our channel. Tiff? So basically the premise is we got 4 categories, 4 questions. The sole goal is human connection, I would say. Make sure that you drop your answers in the comments, and then you also drop suggestions for categories and questions as well. Usually I write all 4 questions and then I ask Tiff, but Tiff this week has written 2 categories, 2 questions.
I have prepared some thoughts.
Am I explaining that in a way that makes sense? 4 categories, 4 questions. They change week to week. The sole goal is human connection.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Do you want to do 1 and 1?
Okay.
Like you do 1, I do 1?
Okay.
Do you want to do rock, paper, scissors for who goes first?
Yeah, but be ready to be absolutely
every time. Okay.
Dragged. Rock, paper, scissors.
Dragged.
So rock, paper, and then we do scissors. Or rock, paper,
rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yeah, every time.
There we go.
Every time.
Wait, does that mean I go first?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like you're going to like these. Unpopular opinions.
Perfect, that one. Or
second category is tell them because they don't know.
Wow, you made this so interesting. My categories are a little bit more boring.
That's fine.
I'll do the last one.
Tell them because they don't know?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, no.
I was hoping. What's a perfect example of compet in popular culture?
End it like Beckham. That whole movie was supposed to be gay. And it's like just for an example that I think is clear and easy to understand. But I think it's like everywhere.
So for people that haven't seen Bennett Like Beckham.
Okay, so premise is this woman who's part of Desi culture wants to play football, i.e. soccer, because they're in the UK.
Yeah.
Joins a team, and it's like about female friendship and overcoming cultural differences and embracing each other's cultures and, like beating all odds to be a soccer player and to be like a Desi woman. And like, it's about her unlikely friendship with the team captain of an unlikely friendship, but it's 2 people who come from like different walks of life who come together who share a love of football. But this entire story was essentially written for 2 women to
fall in love. And this has been confirmed, I believe, by the writer or the director.
Yeah, and then I'm sure the execs were like, gay. So there's no man in it. We got to put a man in.
Can you also explain what compet is?
So from what I understand, compet is essentially like the predisposition to end up in like cis heteronormative relationships. So like, for example,
what does cis heteronormative mean?
I think the people who are watching our channel understand. But for those who don't, it's like people who identify with the gender they were assigned at birth, heteronormative, that being cis, and then heteronormative being the pervasive culture of like a man and a woman being in a relationship together.
Yeah. And
compet is typically used in relation to women specifically, just because of how complex female friendships are and how, like, what's the line between your best friend and somebody that you are in love with, essentially. But so many people are like, well, I get jealous about my best friend when she gets a boyfriend, but that's fine, that's normal. I just like want to be around her because she's my best friend. Whereas the reality of attraction isn't really seen because like it's not really a possibility or a thought that is the pervasive norm.
Also, to add on to this, to give a different kind of example that connects to what you're explaining, there's a person that I used to work with a long time ago. She has kids now, and she has a son, and the son is always playing with her friends' kids, and one of them is a girl. And it's really interesting because they're always pairing the son and her friend's kid together. Like, they love each other so much. Like, we're not trying to force it, but they would be so cute together. They look so cute together, and they're always showing photos of them hugging and stuff like that. I think, just to look at this a little bit closer, it makes me a little bit sad because the kid is learning from a young age, oh, when I show affection to this girl, I'm rewarded, essentially. Like, it is kind of a classical conditioning. And obviously kids inadvertently, like, they want to please their parents. And so, and this is like all nonverbal stuff. So the kid is like, oh, mom likes it when we do this. There could be a natural liking there for sure, but I do think it's essentially classical conditioning. And I'm sure he has lots of friends that are like little boys, but that same narrative like isn't being reinforced. So is that an example of comp head as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's more generally the idea, I think, from what I understand, is that it's personal, and it's like you don't think to date anyone else except the quote unquote like opposite gender.
Yeah.
Right? Like your mind is not open to the world of queerness because it's never been necessarily taught to you, or you don't think that that's part of your experience, because where's the exposure?
Can I add on something?
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk over
No,
you.
go ahead.
I said once to my friend who is queer, and I believe that I was straight, I was like, oh, your roommate is so cute. And let's call my friend Becky. And then my friend's roommate, let's call her Angie. So Becky says to me, oh, Angie really thinks you're cute. And I was like, oh, Angie's kind of cute. But does that mean I'm gay? And Becky was like, no, Angie's super masculine. So that just reinforces that you like men.
No.
And I was like, well, cool. Guess I'm really straight then.
No.
I feel like that's something to think about as well. Yeah.
It's like all of the quote unquote like late bloomers, like women on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, they're all obsessed about this guy and the whatever. I don't watch The Bachelor, but like, you know, years down the line, you find out that they are actually so fucking gay.
That's Haley Kiyoko, and also it's Becca Tilley. Becca Tilley, thank you, honey. Becca Tilley.
Do you want to come?
Gender reveals. Yes.
Sorry, you're holding so many things. Do you want me to open them for you?
Yeah. Do you have anything that you want to add, honey?
I personally haven't experienced comp het myself. Maybe when I was like 13.
Yeah. Ooh. Thank you, baby. Tiff knew that they were queer from a young age, and I genuinely thought I was straight until I was 35.
What a beautiful journey, though. I feel like there were signs, but it's like sometimes in retrospect, it's sometimes hard to see. I think too, like, because I'm not gender conforming, it was almost like easier for me to like know that I was queer.
You know what? We found each other in this lifetime, and that's what matters.
This time, and everyone before and everyone after.
Next question.
Do you want me to ask?
Next category. Yes.
I feel like mine are they're very kind of shallow, so I apologize.
I'm excited. I love shallow.
Okay. Yield times or theatrics?
Theatrics.
Okay.
As a former drama major. Excellent.
If your life could be made into a movie, what genre would you want it to be in, and why?
A comedy thriller.
Comedy thriller, kind of like based on a true story.
Yeah.
It's like funny, but also like, damn.
My life is a comedy thriller.
Okay.
It has been, honestly. I think the thriller part is too intense. We need the comedy. And I always say the people who have experienced the most trauma are actually the funniest.
Hilarious. It's a coping mechanism.
Yeah, definitely. But listen, bring me to any party. It'll be a good time.
Love a Gemini.
Love it. Love a complex trauma Gemini.
Honestly, it takes a lot of pressure. Not that we've been to a lot of parties, but I feel like there's a certain amount of pressure that's taken off of me.
My dad passed away. Hopefully I can say that on YouTube. And I had a friend that I worked with whose dad also passed away in a very similar vicinity, both of cancer. And we started a club and called it the TTC, which I'm sure you can figure out the acronym. But whenever stuff got hard, we go DDC.
Dead Dad's Club.
I don't know if you can actually say DEAD on YouTube.
I think so, just not on TikTok.
That was a good category, honey.
Yeah, very short and sweet.
Okay, so I guess we'll go to this other one, which is Unpopular Opinions.
Also, look at.
I found that for Tiff.
What a beautiful gift.
Perfect. She's perfect.
I kind of don't want to.
No, do it. Unpopular Opinions. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What's something you dislike that most people don't?
What do I dislike that most people don't?
Men.
Most people?
I'm kidding. It can be as shallow or as deep as you want. Something you dislike that most people don't. I guess it's worded kind of funny. It could be like pickles.
No, there's like a good contingency of people who love pickles.
Yeah, that's what the question is. What's something you dislike that most people do not?
Oh.
So it's a double negative.
I love a Brussels sprout, if we're going to just talk about food.
What's something...
I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
What's something you dislike...
Oh, I understand.
Most people don't. Da-da-da. Or what's something you dislike that most people like? I guess.
Why am I struggling to think of what I don't like?
You don't like a lot of things.
I know. I'm having a hard time in this moment. Do you have an answer for my question?
Well, I was thinking about me, and I think the most controversial answer is that I do not like pickles. And a lot of people are obsessed with pickles.
But you'll have a pickle.
I will have a tiny slice of a pickle to add acid if there is no other option.
Yeah, because a pickle is an excellent vehicle for acid.
Yeah, but I would hesitate to be like, oh, I love... No, I do not.
Mm-mm.
So I feel like that's controversial. But for you, I think, men might be one.
But then you have to argue, like... It's not even that I don't like men. It's that I don't like the patriarchal structure.
Okay.
I don't know, what, 49% of the population? I'm sure a lot of men like the patriarchal structure. And some women too, so maybe.
There's only one man that Tiff likes. Sorry.
I've men in my life that I really do love and care for.
Is this an unanswered question?
I don't know how to answer it. I don't really like summer.
That's true, you don't like summer.
I just get too hot.
So hot.
Too hot, too sweaty.
Cranky. That's a good answer.
I love summer nights.
When Tiff overheats, it's over. Tiff doesn't like sweating, feeling hot. Like,
it's because I overheat and I get like heat stroke really easy.
That's a good answer, honey.
Especially when I was medicated.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready for my next question. The last and final category. So just to repeat, the categories have been unpopular opinions, tell them because they don't know, theatrics, and then now...
Yield times.
Okay, yield times. I'm ready.
Oh no, I took a bite at the wrong time. What is something from your childhood that you wish you could show me? It doesn't have to be specifically like an object.
I wish I could show you mine and Megumi's friendship. My best friend when I was 6, 7, and 8, her name was Megumi, and she's from Japan. And we really, really bonded. She didn't speak a ton of English, but we still bonded. It was like the energy between us. We communicated in a way that was nonverbal, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had moved to Kitchener, my hometown, from Japan because her dad worked for Toyota, I believe. And yeah, she was there for a few years and we got so close and it was just like such a special friendship and she was such a special person. And I was honestly so sad when she moved away. I don't know. Everything about her was just like so beautiful. Like whenever she gave me cards, she had the most perfect handwriting and like the cutest Japanese cards, and everything she did was like so thoughtful. And I remember when she told me she was moving, I literally was like, I don't think I'll ever see her again, you know, because back then there was no Facebook, there was no social media. And we went to African lion safari on a trip on her last day, and her dad videotaped the whole thing and then gave me a copy. And I think it's in the storage unit, actually, so I should look into that. But I remember reading about some big tsunami went through Tokyo City in Japan, and that's where Megumi lived. So I've always wondered if she made it through, or like if there would be
a relatively
so common. I tried searching her up on Facebook as soon as I was able to, and it just populated so many like.
Yeah, and you don't know where she lives.
I have her old address and her full name and her like family's names, but even her last name is super common as well.
Yeah.
So I thought about asking on TikTok, just being like, can someone connect me? But then I don't know if I'd be prepared if that didn't happen, because I wouldn't want to think that maybe she like is not with us anymore because of that.
Right.
But that's what I would want to show you, because it was just like so great. Yeah. Probably that. And also maybe like the house that I grew up in, I think. Just to be like, this is my room. Yeah.
Baby's room.
Baby's room. Oh. So good questions and categories, honey.
You too, honey. Sorry. Eating an orange might not have been the right call.
Do you want to answer that question as well?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess that wraps us up for today. Please respond with your own answers. Respond with your own answers?
Yeah.
Please place your own answers in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. If you have an idea for a question or a category, please drop that in the comments as well. And as always, be merry. Why do I feel like you're sad? Are you sad?
I don't know.
Oh no! Tiff is hungry. Tiff is literally hungry. Was that a sad answer?
No, I think I think sad is too simple of a way to describe something. It's like I feel wistful for you and for your past.
Also, it's so important to note that Megumi had the best Polly Pockets, and our other best friend when we were little, her name is Courtney. Shout out Courtney, because we're still in touch. Courtney's the best. And Courtney and I would always talk secretly about how big and badass Megumi's Polly Pockets were. She had an enormous gold one.
Which is so funny, because Polly Pocket is it's pocket, so it's meant to be small, but they get pretty big.
Oh, we always wanted to play at her house because she had the best toys like that she must have brought over from Japan. And the last time I saw Courtney, which was several years ago, we actually talked about Megumi's Polly Pockets. We were like, remember?
I saw a video yesterday of someone who collects old Polly Pockets and like refurbishes them, and then like does little like maquettes, like little, or what's the term for something that's like all in one like position?
Oh, I don't know.
It's not quite maquette. There's like
I know what you mean though.
There's a theater term for it, and I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like they did one for Chapel Roan that I saw, and they painted the Polly Pocket. They got a little horse.
That's iconic.
The little Polly Pocket had like a little thing in the middle, like a turn.
I love that.
The horse in Chapel.
It's excellent.
Turn the little guy.
Do you want to go get a banh mi? Because I forced you to do these recordings?
No.